Welcome back to the Resilient Philosopher. This is D. Leon Dantes, and please take a deep breath with me because today we're stepping into the core of everything I teach, everything I write, and everything I believe. This is not just an episode, this is the foundation of my entire philosophy. This is where ethics, spirituality, psychology, and servant leadership merge into one unified vision. And I want you to walk with me through this slowly, thoughtfully, as if you were sitting right here with me. Because this episode defines the soul of the resilient philosopher. I have always believed that ethics is the heart of leadership, the heart of humanity, the heart of who we choose to become. And the moment everything clicked for me was the day I realized this simple truth. You can be good at being bad. You can be bad at being good. You can be good by choice or be bad by choice. And society will still judge you without understanding your intention because people judge from awareness or from ignorance. That is the moment my philosophy was born. The moment the nine pillars became nine axioms. The moment servant leadership, emotional intelligence, and a spiritual alignment united into one system. Today, I want to take you into the system, into the ethical foundation that shapes everything I do and everything I teach. Let me repeat the core principle slowly. Ethics is intention aligned with emotional intelligence, service, boundaries, awareness, and responsible action. Ethics is not defined by what people see. Ethics is not validated by applause or condemnation. Ethics is not determined by the noise of society. Ethics is internal. Ethics is spiritual, is emotional, is relational, is intentional, and it is responsible. Ethics is the moment your intention aligns with your impact. And that is where emotional intelligence begins. Emotional intelligence is not being soft, it's not being passive, it is not letting others walk over you. Emotional intelligence is the discipline of understanding your thoughts, your emotions, and your reactions so you can act with clarity and not with chaos. It means you regulate yourself, you protect your boundaries, you show empathy without losing yourself, you recognize manipulation, you understand the story behind the behavior, you respond with intention instead of impulse. This is what gives ethics its strength. Because without emotional intelligence, intention has no direction. Now, let me connect this to leadership. Serving leadership is not about being a martyr, it's not about letting others use you, and it's not about disappearing behind the needs of the world. Serving leadership is about serving with purpose and boundaries. It is about empowering others to rise. It is about guiding without controlling. It is about lifting without breaking yourself. When you combine this with emotional intelligence, something powerful happens. You begin to serve with clarity. You begin to protect with empathy. You begin to lead from the self instead of from the ego. And that is where ethics becomes leadership. Treat others as you wish to be treated, but treat them with wisdom. Help instinctively, sorry, but be aware of people who will try to use your kindness. Love with depth, but protect yourself with boundaries. Give generously, but with discernment. Ethics without boundaries becomes martyrdom. Boundaries without empathy becomes cruelty. Your golden rule is balanced: kindness and action, compassion and clarity, love and responsibility. This is what keeps your ethical principle grounded. This is what prevents misuse. This is what keeps your philosophy aligned with humanity. One of the core teachings of the resilient philosopher is this: awareness is a moral responsibility. You must stay informed. You must challenge misinformation. You must seek truth. You must understand your society. You must learn from different perspectives because ignorance creates injustice and awareness creates responsibility. To be ethical, you must be informed. You must be awake. You must be willing to learn. Growth requires knowledge, and knowledge requires humility. Now let me show how your ethical foundation and strengthen every action. Everything can be nothing, but nothing cannot be everything. Meaning begins inside the self, not in the judgment of others. Every day is a great day to learn something new by removing excuses and addressing the reasons. Growth is ethical, learning is ethical, awareness is ethical. In order to lead, you must lead with the self. Self leadership is moral responsibility. The trinity of life: honesty, integrity, and the self or spiritual. Alignment gives intention its direction. The one who lacks words speaks the most. The ones with the most words listen. Silence is clarity. To lead is to serve by empowering others to rise above. Service is the highest ethical action. Every truth must be challenged, even your own. Self correction is ethical maturity. Love, empathy, and boundaries are the structure of human leadership. Ethics requires balance. Legacy is not what you leave behind, but what you build within others. Ethics is contribution that outlives you. Now, each axiom becomes an ethical law when intention, emotional intelligence, service, awareness, and alignment come together. Let me put it in practical terms. You're ethical when you regulate your emotions, align your intention with responsible actions, treat others with dignity, protect your boundaries, stay informed, challenge your own beliefs, serve without losing yourself, learn continuously, contribute honestly, act with compassion and clarity, empower others, lead the self first, and hold yourself accountable even when no one is watching. That is what it means to live ethically in this philosophy. Ethics is also a spiritual path because when your intention is pure, your action becomes aligned. When your actions is aligned, your leadership becomes service. When your leadership becomes service, your legacy becomes eternal. This is the way of the resilient philosopher. This is how we rise together. This is how society grows. This is how humanity heals. Ethics is not perfection, ethics is alignment. Ethics is awareness, is responsibility, it is contribution. When the self becomes ethical, the world transforms through your presence. If this message speaks to you, share this podcast. Help me reach others with these teachings. Let us continue to build a world grounded in service, awareness, and intention. And if you want to dive deeper, visit visionleon.com for articles and extended reflections. It is also important to know that even though I have completed my philosophy, my axioms, the resilient philosopher is everyone's philosophy that is based on resilience and personal knowledge through living life. I only set foundations of what I consider that builds resilience. But it is up to you, the listener, the reader, the person, to find your philosophy that is aligned with the three major facts: ethics, humanity, and the self. In order for us to heal, in order for us to come together, we must understand that we are all meant to work together, to be ethical with one another, to be honest, to have integrity, because at the end, that is what the self is built upon. If you cannot lead yourself, if you can't be ethical, if you can't be honest with yourself, if you cannot have integrity with yourself, then your philosophy is not ethical. It's not beneficial to the world. And it can be corrected. Remember, we choose to be good or bad. Regardless, people will judge you. A bad person might see your good deeds as you being weak, but yet you see the actions of a bad person the same way. Perspectives matter, but what matters the most is you holding what I call the Trinity of life. Be honest with yourself. Keep integrity to yourself, and you will be emotionally capable of serving with leadership qualities and skills to move forward your community, your workplace, and your personal spiritual life. I did not create this to divide. I created this to unite people, to form awareness. And you can read the books, they're free online right now. The three books that I wrote already. But there's another book on the works, and it's going to be The Resilient Philosopher, the Servant Leadership Philosophy, in which I will go deeper into each axiom applied to our personal life, to our work life, and to our own spirituality and psychology behind it all. All nine axioms will have a chapter that will be about those three aspects of our life. It's being written right now. I really am enjoying it writing it because I am taking my time to truly show and reflect my point of view and hopes to awaken others to make their own philosophy and to become aware of their true potential. Because it doesn't matter if you have mental health illness or if you are the brightest person in the world. We still have to offer leadership by empowering others, letting others see what is the best of themselves, even when they didn't notice. And this is why I truly believe that we can all be a resilient philosopher. So when you see or read anything from the resilient philosopher, just know you are reflected on it. You can be a resilient philosopher. Thank you for walking with me. Thank you for thinking with me. Thank you for choosing growth. And thank you for being part of this journey. I am De Leon Dantes, and this is the Resilient Philosopher. Remember, always show up for yourself.